What's up with you, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Just chilling.
How's training?
What?
How's training? Good?
Yeah.
You look like you're on the grind. I like it.
I look like I'm what?
You're in the grind. You're grinding.
I'm always grinding. You know that.
Shit, I just got done training too.
I ain't like these other fighters. And I'm gonna let them know that September 16th. They keep disrespecting me.
Who disrespecting you?
All these other fighters and the UFC keep disrespecting me.
The UFC disrespect you?
How you have to? I'm the ranked fighter, the ranked welterweight on there. I'm a problem in the division. Nobody wants this fight. Nobody. Because they know what's gonna happen.
Listen, brother, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something about this game. But I'm gonna tell you something about this game, dude. You need to know this. Doesn't even fucking matter where you're gonna fight on the card. You fight the same. Listen, but let me tell you something. If it's the main event, yes, because there's $25,000 extra. Outside that, who gives a fuck? Because you're gonna go there, beat up this guy, and that is no easy. It's gonna be all big fights after that. I guarantee you that, because you're gonna be 6-0 in the UFC, and there's nobody 6-0, I believe. You know. I don't know if anybody have this winning streak outside Woodley.
Well, did you think that referee was pretty tolerant?
Oh, wow. He's out. He's out.
Oh, shit.
Wow. That was sensational. I told you, Kamaru Usman is legit. That dude is seriously talented.
Yep, standing up was a smart move.
Yeah, he could be the one. That guy could be a legit world champion.
Hard fight camps.
Brother, you can. When he's getting rehab, no cameras.
Who?
Yeah, but he's talking to her.
It doesn't matter. Oh no, you can focus on her. Yes.
Yeah,
You can focus on Heather, but don't get his knees.
I was always competitive, but that's within your brothers. When you have your brothers and this one does something, you want to do it better than him. Or if I'm doing something, I know my little brother wants to do it better than me. And my older brother doesn't like to be showed up at all. So that was already kind of innate. That was already inside me. But once we got over here and we started to play these competitive team sports, that's when I really started to find my competitive edge, my competitive drive.
Dan don't really want me no more. You know, Dan, you know, he about to break top 15, so Dan ain't with the shits no more.
Good last one.
Got no time for you.
Yeah, Dan's like, man, I'm done with you guys.
He been a bully all his life.
No, I take care of people.
Oh, you try that?
I take care of people.
I'll tell you, sometimes you gotta be careful. I know what
Thumbnail. That's gonna be a lot of views.
One of the biggest things for me that kind of geared me away to finding wrestling was in football. One thing that I didn't like was you'd go to a football game and you would play this game and the team loses. So it's the team loses. At that age, you would be in the locker room and everybody would kind of feel a certain type of way. They're kind of talking under their breath, and one guy is rumbling. And the quarterback is saying, oh man, if the wide receiver had caught this ball, we'd have won the game. The running back is saying, oh man, if this guy, the fullback had blocked for me, we'd have won the game. The fullback is saying, oh, if this guy hadn't fumbled, we'd have won the game. It was just everybody was blaming everybody. And it seemed like for me to be successful in this sport, I had to rely on 10 other guys. So with the wrestling, it was just me. I put in the work. I reaped the benefits of that. Now, if I go out there and I lose, I take that. I know that, okay, I didn't work hard enough, or I didn't know I didn't know the rules enough, or I didn't train the technique enough, so I needed to do better. So once I found that, that was what just kind of shaped my competitive drive and competitive edge, because I knew I was going to get out what I put into this.
Yeah, well, I can tell what my body's responding to. Just feel body's starting to eat away at these muscles. What's the plan for the rest of the day? You know, we're gonna do the check-in, media stuff, whatever we gotta do. Knock those out right now. I would like to get out to the range at some point, bust some of these guns. You know, I might shoot some guns on Saturday. So.
Well, they were gonna cut me, and so I decided I'm gonna come up with this character, and nah, player, stay with it. I need that character. Yeah, stay with that. So when you get mollywopped, stay with it. I need you to keep that character. Keep that same energy. That's all I ask.
I mean, if we look at things, the scheme of the way things are going to play out, I asked for Damian Maia, I didn't get him. You know, now you've got this loudmouth Colby Covington that came in, and they're giving him to him. So, you know, and people want to see that fight. Because he's ran his mouth. People want to see that fight. So you know what? I'm going to go out, I do my job, and then say he goes out, he does his job with Damian Maia. Me and him have to fight for a title eliminator, because there's no clear-cut guy right now sitting up there. We have to fight. Me and him fight for the title eliminator, which is the next guy that gets that shot.
Yeah, I do it after every match, you know. There's never, you know, I'm not happy with any performance. There's always things I can do better. And this isn't the goal, Pac-10 Championships. It's one step in the goal, but the main goal is the national title, and that's the ultimate goal, and that's what I'm really training for.
Talk about that move at the end, you got
yeah, you know, I just went to my offense. You know, he's worn out. I just stayed on him the whole match. I never got discouraged. I got taken down, but it's okay. You know, we're gonna give up takedowns, but you stay on him, and I stayed on him, and it helped out. You know, I just went to my offense, and he just went over. You know, he was just dead tired. I could tell. Kind of send. You know, when you smell blood, you take it.
That's your condition, isn't it? You have an advantage over everyone.
Oh, everybody in the country. I don't think there's anybody that has a better condition. I have a gas tank, and I know it, and that's where I wrestle. You know, I like to just go. I don't like to have a lot of downtime. I just want to go.
I remember, you know, making that decision to go to college. It was like, man, you want to be an athlete, you got to go Division I, man. It's all about Division I. It's all about this school and that school and that school. It's all about the big name Division I. And I just remember, I didn't even know there was a Division II school. I didn't even know there was a Division III. I didn't even know there was an NAIA or a junior college. All I knew was University of Texas, that's Division I, NCAA, Penn State, Iowa State, Oregon State. These are the only schools that I heard of. And then I started to kind of, you know, once that wasn't going to work, I wasn't going to go into a Texas because they didn't have a wrestling program. I had to look elsewhere. Then I started getting letters from small schools, small college here. And I'm like, what are these? These are colleges? And they have money for me? And then once I went to William Penn University, a small school, I started to realize, wow, there's so many schools all across the country. Division I, II, III, NCAAs, there's NAIAs, there's junior college. But the biggest thing that I took away from that was, and which was one of the reasons I got into wrestling, is I was gonna get out what I put in.
How satisfying is it to do this in the state of Nebraska?
Oh my God, I can't tell you. It feels great, you know? I mean, yeah, we are UNO, which is our main rival, but, you know, I wasn't battling one of their guys, so they had to cheer for me.
Now, coming from Kearney, from Texas, you know, when you first enrolled at Kearney, what did you think was ultimately going to be your career?
Well, I mean, ever since I was at, NAI, I knew to myself I had something better in store for me. God had a plan for me, and I just kind of followed it. Came up with my best friend, one of my best friends, Chevelle, and it's been a dream come true.
As long as I put the work in and I invested the appropriate amount of time and I believed in myself enough, it didn't matter what division that I was in. I wasn't gonna let that define me. I wasn't gonna let the school that I was at, the place that I was at that moment, define the limits that I could get to.
Being with the UFC over 6 years, it gives me this opportunity to realize what potential these guys have to work with. So it's pretty cool to be able to hold this when, even though I put my time in, it's not like these guys. These guys put the real hard work in.
Yeah, we're here. We're getting these pictures in. We're getting ready to do the thing, so I'm excited.
There's a big thing that a lot of people don't understand, and not everybody gets this, and it's the picture of vision. A lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't understand vision and what that truly means. A vision, it could be something that you yourself can only see. Not a lot of people are going to see your vision. There are some people that are going to see your vision in life, and those people are going to chime in, those people are going to come in and they're going to help, but not everyone's going to see the vision. When you see the vision and you make that statement, that's what I'm going to be one day, you already understand yourself that you can get there with the right amount of work. You know that you're willing to do the work. All you need is that opportunity.
Large?
Without wraps?
Yes. And maybe with wraps too. Thank you.
You have underwear on?
I think so.
Think so?
Yeah.
So you don't need it?
I do.
You do need it. What kind?
The UFC ones?
No, put the black ones on.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
Let me see.
We just wanted to buy some snacks. To buy snacks. First, buy a bike that consumes petrol. You're on an electrical scooter. This is not South Beach, Miami.
Yeah, so when you guys come, I'll set up car service for you. Usual thing, pick you up. Pretty sure I know where you're staying. I'll just confirm with you. But we'll send a shuttle to get you, bring you here, and then from your thing, right to T-Mobile for everything else.
To be honest, I might hit you up at night. It depends on how I feel. Maybe will drive. You know what I'm saying? It's just not because of headache.
I'll have it set up just in case.
Thank you.
Yeah. Last thing I want is you guys having to worry about it in the morning.
Yeah.
The more we can take off here, guys, as long as they allow me to do it, I have no problem. I'll set that up for you guys.
So the highlighted green, your initial.
Initial. And then we're going to sign and date. 12/10.
Man, ready to rumble or what? Be a good one. Excited for it.
All right, let me get a couple of the blacks. You ready? Yeah, let's do it.
Question for you here. Your last, and come on, from your radio to Thursday, you want to go cell phone or you want to just call it?
Let's go cell phone.
Cell phone?
Yes.
See, my name Ray Gibson. I'm from New York City.
You know Spanky Johnson?
Spanky Johnson?
I don't believe I.
This is Spanky. He well off. He's like, well, you boys ain't got nothing to worry about then if you ain't committing murder.
Nowadays there's a lot of different, narratives that's going on. This isn't just back in the day where it's, this is what you're working for to be this champion. And once you're a champion, you're recognized and you're accepted and you're known as that champion. Nowadays, we live in a very colorful world to where they want you to be brash. They want you to be braggadocious. They want you to be this savage guy, but at the same time, they want you to entertain them by the rubbish and all the extra curricular activities outside of what you're doing. And that's not, for me, that wasn't necessarily what a champion is about. That wasn't what I didn't get into the game and say, yes, I want to do all this, I want to do that. No, I got in to become a champion. I wanted to compete. I wanted to be that guy, to be the best at this sport. And at the same time, I have to hold true to the values and the things that I have learned all through life. Because now I'm in a position to where I get to affect and influence millions all across the world. And if that's the message that I want to put out, is the way that I got there, then I have to portray that.
No, well, we drank all this. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper helping to the limousine. Hey, hanging pictures on the wall. And look now we sip champagne when we thirsty. Hey. I've been popping up on the side of the T-Mobile. I've been popping up on that big one right there at the Palms Casino. There's another one over there I've been popping up on. The MGM one I've been popping up on.
Shoot, that shit gotta be so real, huh?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. The first time I see one was when I was fighting RDA, and I came here. It was everywhere. I'm like, yo, mama, we made it! We did it! Shoot. See, I was just a young dude out here wrestling in the streets at Arlington, Texas, out there wrestling. And now we out here headlining Vegas. Tell you what, goddamn special thing to do. It's so special. Ooh, got the big bed joint on. I remember when it was 3 of us sleeping in the same bed, me and my brothers. You know, if one of us wet the bed, the other 2 had to suffer through that.
Coming from somebody who also hears what you're saying, like not getting that big shot, like I'm good enough. I'm doing this to people. Looking back at my own career, I can only say that like I'm glad that they didn't give me that shot, because what they ended up doing is giving me every miserable opponent up until the title fight that I could have fought, every specialist, every badass in the division. I'd already cleared out the division before I even got to the title. So there was nobody to fight when I got to the belt because I'd already beaten everybody. So you're pretty much essentially cleaning out the division.
Really, I got no problem with any of it. They falling like Adam, I had to get above it. I need nobody, your mention, really nothing. I see pretenders, no end to all your bluffing. Ooh, on my back, don't say your name on my back. I would never turn my back, easy lose your soul like that. Ooh, where you going? Who you roll with? They want it, but I'm glowing, and you know it. Ooh, yeah, I think I'm done. I don't need it. Yeah. Screw your click, and your meeting. Ooh, boy, I'm hungry, and you eating, and yeah, I want it. But that ain't Jesus, I'll be though. Pick up a bag to go, Uber the head to go. I'm active-o, run for the master, oh. Hop in the alley, bro, don't add me, bro. Thinking you had me, whoa. Feel like a candy cold, and reload. You need a bandy, though, I come in handy, though. All in my bag, don't give a if you mad. I'm in the school of hard knocks and at the top of my class. And my abode is translucent while you rocking your mask. I'm sipping peaches and Prosecco while I'm watching you crash, yeah. Ooh, that's God, I don't need y'all. I ain't get your text, you sound like blah, blah, blah. I don't need the games, I'm finna take the reins. I'ma write up your claims, I'ma fuck.
I always said this about Kamaru. We can, like I said, we can prepare him as best as we can, the coaches, training partners, everything, but I think it all comes down to Kamaru. He's professional in and out the cage. Like, you see him an hour before training, warming up, you know, making sure his body's tip-top shape. Just he goes through all the little details. A lot of people don't know. He looks up to the big people, Rashad Evans. He calls Eddie Alvarez always for advice. So he's always talking to people that have been there. So he's always getting the blueprint from former champions, and I think he holds himself to that same standards as those other champions, you know what I mean, in and out the cage. So I think that's what separates Kamaru from everybody.
A lot of people, I hear people do interviews and people say, oh man, you know, I just am doing this for my legacy and for my, and I don't think about that. Like, a lot of legacy is not something that you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna steer this, I'm gonna control this. Legacy is something that you leave after your body of work. So that you don't bestow that on yourself. You gotta do you, and then when you're done, everyone looks back at what you did, like that's your legacy. And so I don't think about it. I'm just doing me, I'm doing me, I'm doing me. You know, I'm taking it a day at a time, a fight at a time, you know, any competition at a time. And when I'm said and done, if people want to look back at how I competed and the heights that I reached and the things that I accomplished, then people can tell you, oh man, that's your legacy. So, yeah, I see some guys, and I feel like some guys put too much emphasis on that. You know, this is what I'm leaving, this is what I'm leaving. Because at one point you could be high, but you could also come crashing down. The more emphasis you put on something, you worship it. That's where you're at. And then when that's not there anymore, people don't know how to cope or how to transition and maneuver into something else.
Final words, Kush.
Catch me outside.
It's not for everybody. It's only for the strong. Can't do it. Not everybody can do it.
And I deserve my colleague.
Got it done though.
Georgie, hold up.
You said I deserve my colleague.
Here we go.
Man, we at the PI right now, at the food court, about to grab some to eat before we got training, you know, so just taking a day at a time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like Coach Lawrence would say.
Morning.
We're talking about you not being a sellout. You're doing really good for this industry.
Awesome job. I definitely won't.
DC, what up, Will? It really stop, y'all. Keep jiggy with it. It was already like almost a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because I was just fucking tired of training.
Right.
And it was like, I think it was kind of going into panic mode because I kept the weight up so high all through the whole training camp.
Through the whole training camp, yeah.
That it was just like 1 week, boom.
Boom.
I
And
went
now
from
it's like
92, 93 to like 84.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I've been I woke up this morning, if that scale is correct,
Yeah.
the hotel, I'm like 83.
Everybody says the same thing.
Yeah.
It's all just like the
it's a
weight
mental-
cut, and it's a
yeah.
mental thing this week, and then once you rehydrate and get everything
I
in
know
you,
how I
you're
feel.
like, boom.
Friday, about 6 p.m. I'm like, fuck yeah. Let's fucking go.
I don't even need to be here. I'm gonna go sit my ass down somewhere. I don't need to be here.
Waiting on them. Boy. Always. Chicken and a sweet potato and veggies. And half like the size of my head.
How many carbs is that?
The perfect amount for me.
Who else in the UFC got
You
better
got it
style
for
than
me,
me?
fam.
Ali.
You got it for me, fam. Let's be 100.
Give him a year. Let's see when he get in the UFC, give him a year. He still ain't gonna be.
Listen.
At that point, my budget gonna be bigger. So
Oh look, hey, I'm doing it with no budget.
Yeah,
so what do you imagine when I
like
have something?
You're not
I'm doing
gonna
it.
catch
I'm doing it with nothing.
You're not gonna catch me. I'm gonna be too
I ain't gonna
gone.
lie, I mean, you doing it a little bit right now. I ain't gonna lie, you doing it a little bit.
I mean, I thought y'all was ready. You know, sometimes you gotta give me a little something. You know, see how I give them.
You see how nice you You got all the credit. You got all the credit.
You know, that's how R&B nigga.
Let's try your credit, bro. See me on that, man. Happy, man. I trust him. I trust him.
Are you ready? I did a lot of interviews this week, and they're like, man, you're defending. Everyone keeps saying this, you're defending this title. No, I'm not defending. I'm fighting for a title.
I'm going back out there to win this title again. When you start defending, and I feel like this is kind of the place where if I had an advice for Tyron Woodley and where he was at in his transition, I feel like this is kind of where the role he fell into. Oh, I gotta protect this. I gotta defend this. I gotta protect this. When you're trying to protect something, you're on the defense. You're not letting your offense go anymore. You're not being offensive. You're not going out there to do what you do as well as you do it. You're going out there to just protect what you already have. Oh, no, I'm protecting this. So you're stiff, you're dry, you're closed off. You're not as open and as fluent as you normally would have. So I'm not going out there to defend. I'm not defending. I'm fighting for the UFC welterweight title again. And I'm going out there to win it again.
Mostly questions from Twitter. Feel free to have fun with them. Some of them are about fighting. Some of them are totally random. Like if aliens came, what would you do if you only had 24 hours left? Just try and have fun with it. There's a lot of fans here, and then for the last 5 or 10 minutes, it will be media questions.
I know, right?
Let's go, I don't think anything much more than that. You know, just because this clown is running his mouth as much as he wants, and he's worried about me. I'm not worried about him. He's the one who's talked all the shit in the world, so now he has to go prove that. The pressure's on him. I'm champ, not him. He has to come out there and prove it, but man, I'm relaxed. This is the 4th time this fight should have happened. Actually, 5th time this fight's been offered to him. I've accepted every single one. He has it.
I see that white mic, yeah, I see that white mic.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Kamaru, it's your time, man. Yes! All right, guys, we gotta get head down there. We got 6 flights of stairs to go. Let's go.
Floyd Mayweather didn't become Floyd Mayweather because he was always braggadocious, talking this. I got 50 cars, I got 50 wives, I got millions, multi-millions of dollars. He didn't get to that because that's what he was doing from the start. People forget Floyd Mayweather was a guy that used to walk guys down. Floyd Mayweather was a dog in there. Floyd Mayweather is a guy that went to the Olympics. This is an individual that put in the work ever since he was a youth, a child. You can't amount for the amount of work that he's put in. But he adapted. I understand nowadays that the dynamic has changed, but he adapted to where everyone forgets that aspects of it. Everyone just forgets, and they think that, oh, you just need to be Money Mayweather, show your money, do this, you get 50 cars. But no, Floyd Mayweather put in that work to get to that point, and I'm not forgetting that. Nowadays, everybody sees that aspect. That's all they want to remember. They don't want to do the work that's behind it. But no, I'm going to tell the truth. Like, I'm putting in the work. I'm literally, my body hurts from me training to get to become the best in the world. So kids have to understand that. I'm not trying to sell them a movie. I'm trying to let them know this is me, this is real, this is how I am.
Hey, next time you take pictures, we're going to have that belt right here.
You know, the thing about Woodley that I was saying for the last 2 years is that he has no cardio. You just got to push him and get his heart rate up, and then, you know, he sucks. He's like an amateur out there. So, you know, Woodley has an easy game plan, and Snoozman he's even easier because he's already emotional. He's already thinking irrationally, doing stupid-ass shit, trying to attack me in the Palms buffet line, you know, doing bullshit, and he's just going to come out and get himself knocked out. So, you know, they're both easy matchups, man. It's a great time to be Colby Chaos Covington because there's not a lot of hard matchups out there for me.
I noticed Covington. I'd heard the name before. I heard the name because obviously he was roommates with John Jones before, and was also on teams with friends of mine. Carrington Banks was also on the team with him at Iowa Central. And so I heard the name before. I heard him in the wrestling scene. Wrestling scene is very, very small with the elite, the top guys. So if a guy was tough enough to be an All-American, you kind of knew who each other were. So I'd heard his name before. We had common opponents. I had beat guys that had beaten him, or guys that he'd wrestled before. So I kind of knew of his name, but then I also knew that he was fighting. Once I moved down to South Florida, I could kind of hear, of course, a big ATT a team down there. So you kind of hear names, hear things like that. But we get into the sport now. The name was offered to me early on in my career. Second professional fight. I said yes. He says no. I end up taking a guy on, I think, 2 weeks notice or so, short notice, and I end up losing, which changed the course of my career forever. And now, fast forwarding on, he gets into the UFC. Now I'm on the Ultimate Fighter. Of course, I'm not paying attention. I don't necessarily care. I'm trying to get through my day-to-day, get through where I'm at, the level that I'm at. But I know that I'd heard that name before because that fight was offered to me. So we're going through. Now I get in the rankings before he does. Now he starts to chatter about my name because he feels that he deserves that before me because he was in the UFC before I was. So we're in the rankings. I'm in the rankings, and he's chattering. And I'm like, okay, of course, I would fight. I'd fight anybody. I don't care. Because I have the vision of where I want to be. I want to be the best. So it doesn't matter who I fight. Bring him on. I'll fight him. So he's chattering, but the fight is never happening. He's taking other fights to try to get around me, but he's chattering because he felt that he deserved to be where I was at. So he finally gets into the rankings. I don't care. That's not a problem. So he's calling for fights, certain fights, and I'm taking the fights they're giving me. I'm just taking my fights. Then he gets a break. They give him Dong Young Kim. He goes over and beats Dong Young Kim. They put him ahead of me in the rankings. I don't care. At this point, there's only 15 guys in that rankings. So at this point, you can kind of pick and choose. And at that point, I recognize that he's tough to deal with because he likes to smother guys. He likes to grind, push the pace, and I do that as well. But I know all the other skills that I possess that I can pull out of the toolbox at any time if I need them. But so I've already seen that. I'm like, okay, he's tough. I might fight that guy one day. But he'd already been chattering, so this sport is real for me. If you're going to chatter, we need to make it happen. So we get another opportunity to fight him. He says no, because now he's already in the rankings. He's ranked above me. He's like, no, I'm not going to fight him. He's below me. I'm not going to fight. Potential hard fight. Kind of negate me utilizing my tools. I'm not going to do that. So for the longest, I'm begging for fights. I understand he's a threat. I don't care. I'm willing to step in there and take on that chance. But I don't think he was. So our careers progressed the way that it were. I become champion before he does. So now he's back in that situation. To when he was above me, he wouldn't say anything about me. But now that I become above him, oh yeah, you're ducking me, you're this and that. The world publicly knows you turned down a fight with me. We were offered the headlining spot. You said no because you felt that you were ranked above me, so you don't want to take that fight. That's fine. I fight another fight anyways, and look where I was at. Look, as fate has it, I'm the champion. You have to fight me. I understand it's a tough fight, but I don't care. I'm willing to risk that in order to be great at something.
We're very blessed to be here. God is good all the time. We just keep working hard and just keep using all the tools God bless us with, to keep achieving these goals, and just keep going forward, Life is about going forward and achieving, and he's already achieved the first step. Now defend, and then you keep defending until you get tired of it, and then you retire, So I'm very blessed to be here, and we're ready to put some work in. You here? You see him? Okay, you got it. Okay, you got it.
Yeah, man, good little workout. Nice little training session for fight week. Checking them off. One day closer.
No train tonight.
Sean, yo.
Gotta put the beauty mask on. Just because I whoop ass don't mean I gotta look like I get my ass whooped. Bring it little by little. Sacrifice. What am I doing? This ain't, I ain't never been to this. This is 100% Nigerian, not 33.
I got you in the kids, right? Remember? Who got you in the kids?
And help them out.
Congratulations, man. Great job.
I'm so happy for you, man. You used to let him live in your crib, treat him like a little brother, man. Bro, he owes you a lot, man.
Now he's a world champ.
Look at this. Who this girl? This is Rashad. She said, whenever you see me and speak to me, make sure you speak to me. I said, yes, ma'am. Bless you, man. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Get on this picture, man. That's Rashad. That's back of a ton.
Oh, that looks good on you.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. My man.
How are you, sir?
Get my coach, too. Get in, coach.
All right, come on, man. You hold the man up. Not that. Let the champ rest.
Wow. Can you believe that?
The first time I ever seen a UFC fight, we were at the same house party. Chuck Liddell was fighting in Fort Dodge, Iowa. We watched it at a house party. This is kind of surreal.
And obviously with Rashad, poking at me. And I remember it was the night that I watched you win the title, and I was like, you know what, I'm going. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I have it written down in my journal. I was like, I'm going for this.
Man, it was destined, my friend.
What a night.
It's a big night, man. Hey,
with you, baby.
I tell you what, if the UFC ever headlines a car in Africa,
hey,
guess
going.
Who's gonna be front row and center?
We going.
Or I may be on the card. Wouldn't that be cool? Shit, that'd be cool too. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Look at this suit though.
No, I've never felt this much disdain for a fighter before. And I think it's just because he's not most fighters understand and they respect that code of being a mixed martial artist and what martial arts, the basis that it was built on. Most fighters have the respect, most fighters have the discipline, and most fighters have that honor. And this is a young man that just doesn't have that. And Saturday night, December 14th, it is my job to go in there and teach him that. I'm expecting him to keep up he wants to keep up that persona, because for some reason himself and some people are thinking that he's getting to me for some reason. And so I think he wants to keep up that persona, he's just chest out, try to talk himself into the fight, which, bro, we've been offered this fight 4 times before. You've turned down every single one. The only reason this fight's happening is because I am the undisputed champion of the world. Had roles been reversed, this fight wouldn't happen. And so, hey, I'm expecting him to continue to try to talk himself into the fight, like he's ready. But, hey, this is clockwork. I'm in here. I've been there. I've done this. I do this. That's why I'm the undisputed champion. For media day, these things are like clockwork. The UFC does a very, very good job of organizing them and getting them to go through and work through it. So I'm expecting it to just be normal. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do my job, and hey, we're almost there. I can't wait. T-minus 2 days. So I am excited, and I can't wait to just be done with it all and get in there and have the referee, you ready? You ready? Like, yeah, I'm ready, motherfucker. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been around this so many times, and everybody makes it look so easy. I watch Usman do it. I watch all these guys do it. They make the interviews look easy. They make everything look easy, and I'm like stuttering over my words. I'm having to retake everything, and it's taking some getting used to, but it's fun.
Yeah, you said it right. This is such a short career. and I try to enjoy every moment. I've just been soaking it in. You know, 4 years ago, I was in this exact hotel trying out for the Ultimate Fighter 205 edition, and they wouldn't let me on because of my criminal record, and now I'm back here on the biggest pay-per-view card, and I'm really soaking it in, man. I felt like my last fight, I was so focused on the result and not just enjoying the whole process, so I'm enjoying every minute of it. The whole process is, you know, training your ass off, not making much money, trying to grind out sponsors. You know, a lot of times, you know, you don't have the supplies and the things you need, because once you get here, man, it's, you know, it changes, everything changes, but at the same time, you got to take advantage of all the people you meet, being a good support group, having them around you, and just, you know, just enjoying this whole process, bro. I love my LFA days and my even local days. You know, those are dangerous fights, because you lose a few of those, you'll never make it to the UFC in a row, you know. So, you know, you just got to really focus on enjoying the process of it, and not so focused on the product of just the UFC. It'll come, trust me. Fall in love with that process, and this will come.
You gotta fall in love with the process. You gotta stay consistent, because if you're not in love with it, it's hard to be consistent. You know what I mean? It's easy for me to just wake up every day and train and work out because I love it. You know what I mean? I love the grind. I love waking up and pretty much killing myself to get better. You know, if you don't love that, then you probably shouldn't do this sport, because that's what you got to do. That's the expectation. You got to grind. You got to be consistent. You got to do it every day and take no breaks, really. Every fight's pretty much do or die, you know what I mean? You lose in this sport, it's unforgiving, you know? And a loss hurts. And I don't know how it feels to lose in the UFC, and I plan on not to never feel that feeling just like his brother, you know? But I respect them, because we're putting our pride, we're putting everything on the line, we're fighting in front of millions of people on TV, you know what I mean, for them to judge us, essentially, you know. So fighters will always get my respect. Unless they disrespect me, then you might see a little bit more disrespect out of me. But as of right now, nobody disrespected me yet, so full respect.
We got the hard part now. The hardest part is the big weight cut. So tonight we try to get as much as we can off and figure out the rest in the morning. But tonight's the hard part. He's gonna have to work a little bit, but we know what to do.
Too close to the nerve.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's one thing after the other.
Always, right?
Yeah.
Right there.
Yes. Okay.
I think the weight cut is just the worst day, because you see your fighter going through a lot, you know. You see your fighter the whole camp and they're very healthy and they're good, and then the day before they're cranky. And good luck with Kamaru. It's good because he's very professional, but after like 10 years now I'm doing this, that's the worst day. I don't really like weight cuts. If I was them, but I'm not them, I would just go weight up. But that's easy because I'm a kickboxer, so wrestling is different. But no, it's not my favorite day. And also, I can't really work today. I have not much to do. I just hang around. And I like to work, so let's get this over with and get to the fighting part.
Yeah, ever since I've been working with Kamaru,
I want to fire him.
he shows up at fight week within 1 pound of the same weight every single time. So I think that speaks a lot to the dedication he has to his craft. So he has a good routine, and weight's going to come off, and we'll get ready to go.
He was far, so I didn't turn down. But the first one, I'm like, first move back in my face. I mean, I'm not a toy.
No, I hate that with a passion. Like, how do you record me and then get my attention and look up so you can get my face? Yeah.
Solid work by Gilbert Burns, in control of
Gilbert
Jake
wins.
Shields. It seems like it's all but a formality. Team UFC gonna walk away with this Quintet Ultra title, Eddie.
Everything is good. Spirit is good. Is energy is amazing. We have some great people around. We have Francis. We have a lot of good friends, you know. And it's been nothing but fun this week, you know. Just we gotta go out there and compete on Saturday night. That's, you know. And this man been competing for a long, long time, and this is what he does. And you know, that's it. See my brother defend his belt for the first time, and solidify himself as one of the greatest fighter of all the time, not just the welterweight champion, not the weight champion. We're gonna solidify himself, you know, keep going forward, undefeated, undisputed welterweight champ. That's it. All the bullshit is done.
Play too much.
Well, why not play too much? You didn't get your shoulder. You didn't get your shoulder. You don't. This is nothing.
Kamaru is fucking amazing. I see this guy coming to the gym back in the Black Arenas, almost just like a pure wrestling, you know, made his way up, very good. He like at a time when we thought like, oh man, this guy gonna do it, but he was so hard-headed, you know, like he keep going, keep pushing, you know. It's amazing to see his work ethic. I think Rashad has a big role on him, you know, helping him out a lot mentally and training, and I'm so proud of him, man. Like I've been with him in the couple first fights, I corner him and helping him out a lot. We bang a lot, you know. He was one of my favorite guys to go with. He helped me out. He also called me when I went back to Japan, asking him to help me out because he has such a good energy, you know, good attitude. It's an awesome guy, awesome athlete, and he got this shit, man. And he's one of the best ever right now, and he's gonna keep dominating the division for sure.
Big trust. Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop. Big trust.
Congrats, man. Y'all did y'all thing, man. Yeah, no doubt. All right, my dog. I'm about to go in here and get this weight off real quick, all right? 11.
Yeah. It's sick. It's a sick feeling, sickening in my mind because I know what I'm about to put my body through, but I like it. When you come out on the other side of it, I like it. It's like, man, I did that shit. I did it. Because this is I would have to say, of course I've never given birth, but I would say this is probably what I'm about to feel tonight until tomorrow morning is probably the worst pain that you could feel, to put your body in a position to where it could potentially die, it could potentially stop working, to knowingly do that to yourself. It's something mentally strong about that, and I've done it time and time again, and tonight's no different.
When you say weight cut, people are just like, oh, you're gonna go lose weight, but they don't understand there's a science and a calculation through water and timing and the heat that it's way harder than what people give it credit for. And you know, some people go to the sauna and work out in there for 5 minutes, and that's a workout, where we're training all the way up till weight cut night on how to handle the heat, handle the constant in and out of the sauna or in and out of the bath. That it's a science and it's an art that only MMA fighters are good at painting it.
Reminds you of Arlington Bowie?
Okay, bet. What's that?
Reminds you of Arlington Bowie?
He know what?
This reminds you of Eagles? Trying to make way for Red River duels?
Hey, listen. He's like, I'm gonna swing at you. I asked him, you gonna do that? He's like, oh, I didn't say that.
Hey, what was that when I got slammed?
Fuck his ass up. He's too weak right now. It's my time.
Bring Tyrone in the camp.
I think Tyrone's fine. It'll be perfect.
Bring Tyrone in the camp.
Yeah, it'll be perfect for this guy. But he's Tyrone's friend. That's
all I'm saying. He fights Rosen Street. Yeah, he fights Rosen Street.
What?
Yeah, they announced that he fights Rosen Street.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, they announced it. You didn't see that?
Well, yeah, he's what?
They announced the fight.
Yeah.
So,
oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, he has a good right hand.
He got everything. Every time he hit somebody, I saw him go. Corey, come look, bro. What we got? Come look, baby. 172 on the back. Hey, come on, baby.
72-0?
Oh, big, beautiful money.
Ain't it?
Come on, man.
Let's see 2 pounds.
Hey, you can tell the camera over there.
No, go ahead, Mo.
Do it. Take the 2 pounds. Go ahead, man. Tell him. Hey, he'll tell you. Corey will tell you. He came up. Corey was like, nah, 173. I said, Corey, baby, we've been doing this years. I said, it's a thing. We feel that inside. 172.0.
Shit never gets easy.
Fuck.
Low key was the easiest one.
See, people say that when they don't go through what you go through. This was a struggle.
What's up, buddy? I got this bad shoulder. I got a bad shoulder. You got a bad leg. I'm fucking with you. You look good, man. You look good. I love it.
You hurt?
That was literally a really good performance, man. One side of that.
Early made the weight.
Yeah, got up early, made the weight. I'm a professional. This is what I do, and I got it done. Now it's the fun part. It's like all the things that were hurting, all the things that were mentally in your mind, they're gone. It's the craziest thing how that process of depletion and rehydration works. But we got it done.
At the end of the day, that's it. Somebody got to contact Cash. Ask him to meet us in the parking lot in the back.
This is North entrance, right?
Yes.
Told this hooligan to meet us here.
God, I'm so jealous.
Jealous?
You have UFC build. You're
Wow.
a young guy. I'm so fucking jealous.
I'm just saying, like, did you even hear the beat? You just, it's like there was no, you know, you didn't even let me stay on beat or something. You just jumped on it.
I own the beat. The beat's following me.
I see that. I mean, I see what you're doing.
I said, don't hate. Congratulate, my brother.
No, Ali, bro.
First squad, but you already knew that. Break my camera, $1 million, but I already knew.
Susie, yeah. Okay.
I mean, go ahead. You know this is. Susie,
Don't mind me. So this is my idea. This is my idea. Since I'm having trouble stripping it, I'm doing like something like that, which I think might look really cool. What do you think?
Something like this?
Yeah, something like that.
We'll
do
whatever you want.
No, we did straight lines. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, but you want that dripping down my neck?
I was going to try to drip, but I don't think it's going to work. I just don't think it's going to work right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you're looking at like kind of, you know, like they would use mud or different dirts and different things like this, and that's kind of what I would want this to look like a war paint. And that's why I did a base of the white to make it look like this, so that we could come back in like this.
That's really cool that you think about stuff like that going into it, like just the different applying techniques. That's a real like artist touch to it.
She went to the history book for a body painting. You understand? At the end of the day, that's what you do. That's it.
This is the I love doing stuff like this.
Go time. He locked in.
Good.
Nothing else to say.
Okay.
Wow, you did that on yourself.
Yeah, I was just practicing for like Halloween. If I could get rid of my eyeball, it'd be perfect. It would be so good.
I wouldn't like to be in the fucking dark when we do that.
Let's go, baby.
Did you tell anybody about your relations are coming? Here's Kamaru. Do you want to stage him yet?
The difference in what we do is, yes, you can be an entertainer outside all you want to. You can talk this, you can talk that, you can do whatever you want to do. This is not WWE where it's scripted. Okay, this guy's gonna win, so do your best you can to sell it. This is not that. This is real. At some point, they're gonna close that door, lock it, and you're gonna realize I'm locked in here. This guy's physically going to try to hurt me, and I need to defend myself. All that talking doesn't matter. All the fans doesn't matter. All the millions and thousands of people that are, DMing you, yes, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, yes, we hate you, or yes, we're behind you. That doesn't matter. You have to deal with the one person and their spirit in the way that you've put them. And so that's why a lot of people used to say, oh, Conor used to defeat his opponents before he got in there with them, because he was good at talking to them. But then you're gonna run into that guy that you can't shake their spirit. They're secure with who they are. They're secure with what they put in. Like Khabib, he was secure through the whole time. The whole camp, the whole press media tour leading up to that fight. He was reserved. He knew where his spirit was at. He knew what he brought to the table. And then he went out there and he executed and he showed the world what he did. The same thing here. You can say whatever you want to say. You can talk about my coaches, you can talk about my managers, former managers, team owners, you can talk about my family, you can talk about me personally, but at some point, they're gonna shut that door, they're gonna lock it, and you're gonna be stuck in there with just me. Or is your spirit prepared to handle what you've already put out into the world?
Let's do it. ESPN first, Joe. Go, baby.
Yep, this is it. As always, we step on the scale, do that face-off. It's all business from here. Tonight, have a nice dinner, get refed, but now we're 100% mentally focused on going in there, stepping in the ring tomorrow night, and getting the job done.
No fighter meeting?
No, not for you. For him, they're gonna make for him.
You can feel the energy, right? So pumped, man. I'm so pumped. He's so happy, I like the mood. I love it.
I got energy.
You have a fight tomorrow. You may injure
I
you.
got energy now. Talk your shit, Henri. Huh?
Yeah, that's what she said.
It was good, man. Of course, he's trying to talk, trying to say this, just to try to hide the insecurities, try to hide the fear. But I'm not trying to hide it. Of course, there's a little bit of fear there, but my fear is the fear of caged animal. It's a dangerous fear. And then, of course, I'm watching him. When he thought I wasn't watching, he looked away. Boom. Let me know he was afraid. He's afraid. Tomorrow, I'm just going to capitalize on that fear. When this lion hits you in the mouth, ooh, they're high.
December 14th, that's a very special date, because it means so much. When I reflect on everything, I remember having an interview on Anatomy of a Fighter the week of Conor and Khabib. Man, this is a big one. This is something that, as a prize fighter, you can only ever dream of, and that's getting all of the elements, all the components to cross paths. And that's, with the animosity, it's with the payday, and just the magnitude of it. All of it just aligned. It's very rare to where you get a fight like this. Obviously, Foreman, Frazier, Ali, Frazier, those are mega. Those are the things that you remember forever. And this is going to be one of those fights. People are already talking about it, the greatest fight in the history of the UFC, the biggest fight. So it's very rare that all of the stars in line, and right now Khabib is living that. So, you know, we just can't wait. It's fight time, and put the rest to bed. And I remember talking about the magnitude of that situation and that fight and what it meant. And I at that point, I remember thinking it. This is what fighters only dream of, is being able to have the stars align to where you have that foe, that guy who is the heel, or who is that perfect dance partner that brings everything out, that raises all the eyebrows, that people want to see this fight. You have that guy who could potentially push you, who could potentially defeat you. That people are geared up, people are amped up to see what you can do against this guy. I remember watching it with Khabib and Conor, with Conor pushing all the right buttons, saying all the things he needed to say as an entertainer to get the fans behind him, to get all the people riled up, to ruffle some feathers, to try to potentially piss off his opponent. And I remember what I said, that's something we only dream of happening. And now I'm in that situation to where I got the right dance partner. This is a fight that I've asked for a long time, that I've wanted for a long time, that's been offered to me for a few times. But it just seemed like something was off. The stars just weren't aligned, and it didn't happen. But now it's gonna happen, December 14th. This is the culmination of all the hard work, everything that I've always dreamed of. Becoming the champion. Had I not been the champion, who cares? No one cares about this. Had he not continued to do his jobs, fighting those other fights, none of this would happen. The stars align, and on December 14th, in the biggest stage in the world, in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, we get to settle it as a pay-per-view main event. That's only something that you dream of as a child, and I'm gonna be able to step in there and achieve that goal.
And Colby Covington is a guy that has the highest volume of any striker we've ever seen inside the octagon. He's got great wrestling, a superhuman gas tank, and he has been able to put the pressure on world champions like Robbie Lawler and Rafael Dos Anjos. But with Kamaru Usman, this is, in my opinion, the toughest challenge he's ever faced.
DC also on tap tonight. Max Holloway has looked unbeatable at featherweight. So has the challenger, though.
We've prepared the best that we can, and now I just got to go into autopilot, let my body do what it's programmed to do. You know, put all the work in, tired the time and time again. Nothing else to say. He did all the talking. Now it's time for me to go do the talking in the cage.
Wide open, darkness closing, just stay focused, I'm not folding, I'll upset you, cause I'm just too dangerous, I'm dangerous, let's be honest, say no contest, take those comments and form my concept, from the get-go, I just get so dangerous, so dangerous.
As professionals that actually are in the sport, we understand the intricate details that goes into preparing for these fights. We understand how much it sucks to be choked unconscious. We understand how bad it hurts to be hit hard with the accurate, proper punch. We understand how defeating and how mentally just degrading it is for a man to physically hold you down, take you down, hold you down, and there's nothing you can do about it.
He's a problem. Yeah, he's a problem. He's a great kid, too. Good things happen to good people. You know that.
It's the stuff that he doesn't see that's going to knock him out. Like, that's what I worked on. I was actually going to try to hit him with a front kick to knock him out, but head kick, I'll take a head kick all day.
We were just literally planning this right here. We wanted to go to that body kick, and he hit him with it, not me. And get those hands to drop, because Mike likes to drop his hands when he moves. He's super explosive, and he'll drop him and he'll come forward. When I hit him with that body kick, give him something to think about, drop the hands. And then I told Jeff, just run your offense. And if you see it, take it. And he saw it and he took it.
Much respect to Platinum, man. He's a dog, he's one of the warriors. Like, he is the epitome of a fighter, so mad respect to him.
I mean, look, in this sport, it's all about performances, and it took the champ to get to 10-0 before he got a shot. So we just got to pay our dues, man, and Jeff's paying his dues right now. It's a shark-infested waters at welterweight, and it's just no joke. So we're just going to take it fight by fight and do what we need to do and get him prepared. And it's just great to see him execute like that at that level. He did it in a Camacho fight. He did it again here. His timing, being able to uncork those weapons is special, and he's so powerful and explosive from all that strength work. Coach Mike Scacia, he's putting that in 3 days a week, and it's really starting to come out. So I'm just proud of him. When you see one of your kids work hard, you want to see him get the reward, and he's continued to do that at 5-0.
I've been grinding hard for the past, ever since I got in the UFC, it kind of lit a fire into my ass, because I'm fighting, some dogs, like everybody in the UFC, especially in the welterweight division, tough, so I'm gonna take a little break, but then I'm gonna hit it back even harder when I get done with the break.
Let's clock in, baby. Let's clock in. Just a couple of things I said last time. So the fight, if I don't envisage it, it will, but if the fight gets stuck, okay? If it's a stalemate standing on the ground, I'm never going to come in and take the position away without a minimum of 2 warnings. If I'm talking to you in the fight, it's because I'm going to tell you to do something. I'm never going to ask you a question. You're busy fighting, don't worry about answering me back. I just say, let go, get out of there, etc. Once, give some time, twice, third time I come in and separate. If you're doing meaningful work, you're trying to progress, you're doing damage, I stay out of it. With regards to a downed fighter, so let's say you're attacking, front headlock, snap down, guillotine. If he's standing and one hand goes flat to the mat, in that position, palm or fist, don't knee to the head, don't kick to the head, okay? If you pick him up, if you raise him up from the front headlock and his hand comes off, you can do as you please. It's your responsibility to know where his hand at before you throw the shot. If you're hurt at any point in the fight, if I think you're in any danger, you just do one thing for me. If your eyes are on him, even if you're covering it with taking shots, when your eyes are on him, I know 2 things. Number 1 is you understand what's happening, and number 2, you still want to stay in the fight. If you get hurt and you're dazed and you turn away, it's going to put me in a compromising position.
Now, he said that you are the first person that he's ever had ill will towards. How do you sort of take that? Do you sort of feel like you've, in this short amount of time, been able to get into his head? Do you think that's potentially an advantage for you?
There's no doubt about it. It's an advantage. He's already thinking, speaking, and acting emotionally. I don't speak. I don't have emotions, man. If you guys know me and know what I'm all about, it's that I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I say how I feel, and I talk the talk and I walk the walk. So, this isn't the feelings business. This is the fight business. And I'm also not, a lot of these guys, they're just trying to make friends with everybody in the UFC. It should be called the Ultimate Friends Championship, because that's what everybody's trying to do. I'm here to do business. I'm here to make money. And next time I play, I'm here to punch a hole in motherfucking Marty Snoozman's face.
This guy is just, I think the character that he's put out into the world, I can't be associated or be in the same vicinity with that guy and be okay with that kind of pollution. It's pollution to my mind, it's pollution to my spirit, it's pollution to my energy, just being around someone like that. And the worst part is, we understand that it's an act, but he's so out of it to where he doesn't care. His main motivation is wanting to be famous, wanting to be known, to where he doesn't care. And there's just something about that just makes my skin crawl, to where I just can't, we can't mesh.
And let's be honest, this is only a big fight because I made it a big fight. I could care less about this fight. The only reason I'm taking this fight is because Dan Lambert wants this fight. I'm Dan Lambert's professional hitman. I know you gave Glenn a heart attack for all those years you were ducking me, so don't worry, he'll be watching from hell on December 14th. You know, he's taking my sloppy seconds. I beat everybody he beat, but I beat him before he beat him, so he had to come pick up the carcasses off the dead bodies that I left, so, you know, he's not impressive, he sucks at fighting, and December 14th, I'm gonna expose him.
Oh, man. Hey, this one is not just for me. This one is for the whole entire world right now.
Oh my God, what a dirty fight, man. We're getting, this fight's getting stopped for low blows. This fight's getting stopped for eye pokes, going in both directions. I mean, this was an absolute mess. Then it gets disclosed to the audience. Colby says, hey, Kamaru broke my jaw. Colby's jaw was broke. He says this to his corner. Comes out there, keeps fighting. And the one thing that Kamaru does so well, he can reset and he can recompose himself. If he's got to recompose himself 20 times in a night, he'll recompose himself 20 times. And I could almost see some of his reset buttons. Right before the ref brings him out when he gets off the stool, I could see him. He does this body language, and you can see when he's doing this, he's actually resetting his mind. I thought Colby gets a lot of credit for that, too. I mean, these guys came out real early and found out, hey, our wrestling's probably going to be a wash. It's going to be too much energy to try to take you down and fail. Let's just go fisticuffs. I thought it was an awesome fight. I really felt going to the 5th round. This is the round. We're dead even.
This is my little big brother Muhammad right here. Earlier this year, in July, our family went through a great tragedy. My brother lost his son by drowning, and it's been an emotional time for us. But hey, baby Nash, you might be gone, but you're not forgotten. Your daddy and your uncle, we're gonna keep fighting in your honor each and every time. We love you, baby Nash.
It's a group, it's a team effort. The whole team came together. He did his thing, you know. It's God's will. You can't control anything. It's God's will. I'm glad he did his thing, man.
I'm very proud of Kamaru. Kamaru is a champion. He's a born champion. I'm happy. Thank you, Jesus.
I mean, it was really rough for him this period with the family stuff, with the brother, kid, and everything, and still stay focused in the camp and then doing what he did was amazing, and also still see him getting better. You know, there was no wrestling, or striking. He had a beautiful jab and he finished them up very nice. Yeah, it was great. It was a great fight. As you can hear, my voice is a little gone, but that's always in these fights. But of course, very proud. He's mentally and disciplined. He's the best guy there is, and we're very happy that he's one of our team captains. So I'm just really happy. He did what he had to do, and he finished that fight beautifully.
It was really special to see him go out there and get it done the way he did. Forget about all the talks behind it. I was just proud to see him staying with it as a champ and show up and shine when he's need to shine, which he did, like a champion, a true champion does, you know. So it's emotional, man. You know, I know him since he was 16 years old, you know, and I never thought for a minute I would someday sit in the corner watching this kid getting punched in the face, kneeing someone. To be honest, I thought he was going to go on like he did in college, become an Olympian, because he always loved wrestling and he always had a good work ethic and good head on his shoulders. So It's a special, man. Personally, for all of us, everyone showed up for him with love. This was a display of love. We went in for love because we love what we do. Whatever it was over there, it doesn't matter, you know? So I don't think anything in this world wins over love. I'm proud of him, man. I love him.
Hey, baby. I told him, you know, these guys don't understand. When I tell them I'm self-made, I got dogged determination that these guys can't stick with, these guys can't hang with. These guys don't understand. Yes, I might not be the best wrestler, I might not be the best striker, the best grappler. But when it comes to putting it all together with the heart, right now, none of these guys can touch me. They talk about, oh, you're not really the champ until you defend it. What they gonna say now? I guarantee you they're gonna say something new next week. Don't matter. I'm gonna keep defending it.
Did it what? Last round, last minute. Can't finish a chapter better than that. That man the champ for a reason. Tell you what, careful what you ask for. I tell you that, because tomorrow Usman will deliver, baby.
And I'm not gonna say anything about Kamaru. He's the greatest welterweight of all the time. He might be one of the greatest fighter you ever seen. Great fight, a lot of emotion. He composed himself. And the same, man. You know, listen. Do not go rivalry with us. Every big rivalry in MMA, we will win. Simple, because we're gonna put everything into it. This was not about money. It's about it was a little bit personal, and shouldn't be personal, but this fight was personal. Khabib and Conor was personal. Don't get personal with us, because we are together very, very strong. Very, very strong, and we are loyal to each other. Even guys fighting each other's, they're loyal to each other's. You know, that's it. It's part of the game. We'll move on. We'll lose some, we win some, and we just keep going. That's it.
0-0 when I met this dude. Walking in there with sparring in a wrestling singlet.
Is that him? Come on, big time. Is that your fucking car?
It's not my car.
Come on. Ali Mayweather. Is that you? Ali McGregor.
That was a fight. It was kind of nice.
Habib! Come on! Final words, brother.
We came, you know, we conquered.
You know how we ride?
There's a lot, but it's what champs do. We get the job done, and we go to the after party. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.